Hello everybody. So, first thing you do is going to write the quadratic equation in standard form. So what that means is ax squared plus bx plus c. This is standard form. Now in this case, it also is going to make the right side worth 0. Everybody's on the left, the right side is 0. So that means I'm going to get rid of the subtracting 3. And you do that, if I add 3 to the right, I have to add 3 to the left. Keep it balanced, like a teeter-totter here. If I add 3 to the right side, I have to add 3 to the left in order to keep it balanced. Otherwise, your teeter-totter clunks to one side. Bonk. Okay? So your answer is just 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 equals 0, and you're done. It just says write it in standard form. Move along. Okay? That's it. Nothing more to do, because that is standard form. Move this over to the other side. Now, I hate it when the leading coefficient is negative. Okay? Delta math isn't going to care. I can't stand this answer. It drives me bonkers having the leading coefficient negative. Delta math is going to take it. Now, try not to pass on my dislike of that. I'm going to show you the other way you can do it to keep your leading coefficient positive. So these cancel out equals x squared plus 7x minus 4. The leading coefficient is 1, and it's positive 1, and that will help you in what comes next. Okay? So I think it's important to keep the leading coefficient 1, or positive, sorry, positive. Okay, delta math for these questions isn't going to care whether the leading coefficient is positive or negative. So I'm just going to add the 4x squared to the left, and I get minus 2x squared minus 4x minus 8 is equal to 0. Now, that bugs my personal what the heckometer, but you know, delta math is going to take it, and I'll talk about that a little more in a bit. Okay? Now it says solve for all values of x. So the first thing you do is still put the thing in standard form. Still get it equal to 0. And I'll show you why you want that equal to 0 right now. First thing you do is you factor this. The leading coefficient is 1, so you're asking what multiplies to 10 and adds to 11. That would be 10 and 1. Okay? Now, you've got something times something equals 0. Something times something equals 0. Think about those. Something times something equals 0. Somebody's got to be 0, because that's the only way you're going to get 0 as an answer. Back to this. Something times something equals 0. Either this is worth 0, or this is equal to 0. Now that's not your final answer. I got to solve for x. You're currently adding 10, so subtract 10. And you get x is equal to negative 10. There's one answer. Subtract the 1, x is equal to negative 1. There's the other answer. There are two answers to this question. Negative 10 and negative 1. Okay? It's already set equal to 0, so you just factor it. The leading coefficient is 1. You're asking what multiplies to 7 adds to 8. What multiplies to 7 adds to 8. 1 and 7. There's no other option. Because it's a product, you're just going to take these two and set them equal to 0. Subtract the 1, subtract the 7, and you get x is equal to negative 1 and negative 7. There are your two answers. Okay? So what I wrote is x equals negative 1 comma negative 7. Do not, under any circumstances, put those in parentheses. That will mean something completely different. That means a coordinate, and it's not a coordinate. It is not a coordinate. Don't do that. Okay? So I'm going to add 2x and add 2x. I'm going to add 2, and I'm going to add 2. So now I've got x squared minus 3x minus 54. Okay. what is that, 9 times 6 is 54? And lo and behold, how far apart are they? 3 units apart. So they multiply to negative 54 and add to negative 3. So how about minus 9 plus 6? They multiply to negative 54, but add to negative 3. Now set these two things equal to 0. Add 9 to both sides. Subtract 6 from both sides. And there are your two answers. Okay? Now, in all these, they were trinomials. They had 3 pieces. This isn't a trinomial. So how do you do it? So let me just move this thing out of the way. Okay? You have an x in common. Factor it. Pretend you're dividing just like we used to, and you get x plus 6, and it equals 0. It's still a product. It still equals 0. It's still something times something equals 0. Somebody's got to be 0. So this thing is 0, whoops, or this thing is 0. This one's already done. There's nothing to do. This one I got to move the 6. So negative 6 and 0 are your two answers. Okay? Thanks for your time, you guys. Have yourself a great one.